broadcasting through the depths of outer space.
Hello, I'm alive. I don't know what's going on.
Fascinating.
Damn you all to hell!
It's the Solo Sci-Fi Podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 85. We're on the big countdown to the 100th episode. And in the far corner, I present to you from another galaxy so far away that you can't even say what the galaxy is. I present to you Michael Ball from the fifth dimension to the first dimension to our reality, Gogland. How are you, my friend?
Hello.
And how has your journey in science fiction been this week?
Well, it's been an interesting week, actually. I've had a couple of things I've checked out, which I want to talk to you about. First of all, I'm getting through Dark Matter. By the way, we are mucking about, if you haven't already realised, with the video settings on Zoom.
So
this mask is not going to be on the whole show, because it's already getting on my nerves, even after a minute. I'm into about half of the second season of Dark Matter, which I'm enjoying a lot. And I've seen the first two episodes of a series called Foundation. Which is that the one you told me about, which is on Apple TV last week? You mentioned something about it.
Yeah, I've not seen episode 3 yet.
Oh, so you've only seen the first two, the same as me?
Yeah, I'm same as you. I'm waiting. I'm going to wait till there's 3 episodes together.
Oh, okay.
I found the first 2 were very interesting. I don't think it's one of them things. An hour's not enough.
No, I feel the first episode I thought was really good. The second one was still good, but maybe just a slightly off the accelerator from the first one, but still really good. I really like this. Is something quite epic by the feel of it.
It's different. It's so far.
It's about how many thousands of years in the future is it? Is it 18,000?
I don't know. They're not even on Earth. They're on some other planet.
No, and there are literally trillions of people spread all over the galaxy, and there's this huge empire. And then these this guy, the guy that was in the Chernobyl series and also in Expanse, I can't remember his name. He's a really good actor. He played a belter in The Expanse, and
is that him?
Yes, and he's a really good actor. Yeah, and his third show I've seen him, and he's such a good actor. And he's in it as well. And I don't know if he's going to. It looked like he was on his way out at the end of episode 2. I hope he's not going to be killed off completely, because I think he's a great actor. This to me at the moment, this feels quite an epic series. I'm surprised again that it's not really out there like a lot of these other things, but so far so good. It's based on the I can't remember
Isaac Asimov.
Isaac Asimov book, which I've not read. A lot of these things I've often just not read the books, so people obviously read the books first. They compare them and say that the adaptations are never as good, but because I've not seen or read the original book, but so far it's pretty epic and pretty awesome. So I'm going to check it out and see what the rest of it is. What else have you been up to this week so far before we go into our focus of the week?
I'm doing a stand-up comedy course, actually.
Oh, how's that going?
It's all right. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I do it Friday afternoons. It's really good fun.
Is there anything you can share sooner or later? And actually, I'm going to get this mask off.
I've got to perform or something at the end of the 10-week course. It's really interesting.
Right.
You know, so it's there's about 8 of us in class. You have to stand in front of the microphone and that. But they're performing at the end. I've just grown eyebrows as well.
I'll just give myself a teacher's hat. I think it's better. At least I can see my mouth talking again now. I don't know about these virtual things.
So I've been doing that. And that's been sort of interesting, and nothing really, nothing that much, nothing. I'm out. I'm going to a friend's birthday on Saturday, which I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
So I've got a weekend, but nothing major. I got the flu jab today. I feel a bit weird, but I fell asleep for about an hour and a half this afternoon when I got back from doctors.
I'm getting a worrying trend now. I'm starting to doze off in the afternoons. I get this wave of sleep about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know if it's because I'm 50 next year. I don't like it. And it's like, my eyes are going like this. Like I'm trying to stay awake. And I think to myself, why is it at midnight? I don't feel as tired as I do about 4 o'clock in the afternoon for about.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm busy doing
getting old, mate.
I know, but it's weird, isn't it?
Do you know the doctor said to me when I turned 50? Right,
What?
she said to me, we call it now, you're at a thing called the red line. It just gets worse
what?
from there.
Oh,
Called it the red line, yeah.
the red
When
line.
you get to 50, well, that's it, you're crossing over, aren't you?
What are you crossing
That's
over
it.
into? Like the
Well, you're 60 next, aren't you?
Oh, stop it. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, it seems like 10 minutes ago I was 40. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
I first ever did a podcast almost a year. Actually, no, it was about 9 years ago with my friend Ivan in America and a couple of others. And it was, you can imagine what it's like when you first sort of do this and you're nervous and you're stuttering. And it's different because it's audio rather than this is both. This is audio and video. And it doesn't seem that long ago that I was, and of course you learn that when you're on a podcast, you've got to just keep talking. Very nice change, by the way. I like that one.
Thank you very much, sir. You look very important, by the way.
I know. Let's just say to our audio listeners, yes, we're mucking about the video settings. It won't affect you, obviously, with the audio. But if you're wondering what we're talking about, we're just mucking about. But it does go by really fast. But this week, this week I've done a few things. I mean, on Saturday I had my Pfizer booster, so I've had my booster jab. So I had the flu jab. I've had the booster jab, Pfizer. I felt a bit manky, but I feel all right now. Then we checked out a potential college for my daughter, which was good. My uncle very sadly passed away very suddenly.
Oh, I'm sorry, mate. Sorry.
That's all right. It's really sad because out of my father's side, he was the last one. My dad died when I was very young. So that was a shock. And it's, going on about 50 and aging and stuff, which is why, you've really, what life is all about is getting those experiences and doing stuff. I mean, if William Shatner, now, as of recording this, I watched William Shatner come back from space about an hour ago, and he was brilliant. And he sort of broke down. He was practically crying when he was talking to the Amazon chief head guy, I can't remember his name. And I just thought, what an awesome guy. I mean, what did you think about the whole thing? Because
I think at 90-year-old to do what he's done is amazing.
I thought it was absolutely
fantastic. And we're moaning about becoming 50. I mean,
we're moaning about.
He wasn't up there for long, wasn't he? I mean,
it's about 5 minutes. It's about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he went up and then
went
that
down
was it, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit longer than that. I thought it was about 15 minutes up there.
Yeah, I did.
But,
did he pay for it, or did he get it for nothing?
I don't know. I'm not saying this, but
is it a PR thing?
Actually, I think it's because the Amazon chief guy is a huge Star Trek fan, and I got the impression that he gave him the free offer to go into space because what a thing to say! It not only promotes space for science fiction fans like us, but it would also it's just a kind of like a thank you to William Shatner from being, in one of the biggest icons of science fiction in Star Trek in 1966. I assume. I don't think William Shatner paid for it. I think he was offered it, but I might be wrong. I haven't got proof of that. But
would you go up? Would you do it?
I don't know. I think I'd get too scared. I don't know. Would you? I don't think I would. I'd like to, but I think I'd be too scared. How about you?
Yeah, I think I would actually. I think I would. I mean, I won't pay £100,000 to do it.
Well, how much was it? How much was it to go up there?
I think it's about £200,000, isn't it? I think.
Because two of the ones that went today.
Oh, is that Virgin Galactic?
I don't know. I don't know. Is it? I mean, I would have thought it'd be more than that myself. But
I just thought you got a bit low. I mean, I watched it. You know, when you watch the SpaceX stuff, they're up there for a couple of days, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I forgot I was watching it, and he went up, and then suddenly we're coming down. I kind of thought, is that it?
Well, I don't.
I know. I'm sorry to spoil the moment, but I just.
No, you're not spoiling the moment. I mean, it is.
But that's what I mean. Do they go low orbit, or I think it'll be low orbit.
I think they technically go into a very, very brief low orbit, and then they just literally come. You sort of swing out of the atmosphere. It's very cool. And then, but you still got enough inertia that it swings around and you just go back down again. I might be wrong.
Yeah, because there were
You're skimming just out of Earth, technically into space, but very briefly, and then it goes back into Earth orbit and go below Earth into descent again. I think.
There were that thing with Richard Branson when he went up. They said he didn't go to space. There's some limit. There's like a line.
Oh,
where
so
you've
is
got
this
to go.
one? I think this one does definitely pass the line.
Right.
I think
Because
that-
I
I think
remember
you-
there were a thing with the aeroplane people. Some authority. There's a line where it.
From what I
it is
understand,
space
it's like 350 something. There's it's also like 355 or something. I
Yeah.
think technically they are in space. Even it's just literally just technically in space, and then
Yeah.
they're going back down. So technically they are astronauts. Technically they have been to space, but such a minimal time. So it's one of those things where are they astronauts? Well, technically, but are they proper astronauts? No. But whatever, I don't care. I mean, I just think it's a fantastic thing, and hopefully, and also, I mean, the rocket again, the bottom part when it lands very much like an eagle from Space 1999.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah, but it's a bit.
You can almost see
embarrassing,
that.
that. It's a
Why?
bit. It looks like a dildo, doesn't it? It does, doesn't it? I mean, it does. I mean, it does. I mean, it's not like, it's not. I mean, there's a fucking space.
Oh,
that should look cool.
Martin!
But it looks
Fowler.
like a big
Oh,
penis, doesn't it?
God.
It
Why
does.
would you have said that? Why would you have noticed that?
Because
oh.
other people have noticed it, and
I never
I'm only
noticed
going what
it.
people have said.
Oh,
it does
looks
look
like
a Blue
a
Origin
dildo.
dildo.
Oh God! I'm sorry,
like a
everyone.
Fucking penis. I mean, SpaceX, it looks really cool, doesn't it? You know.
Oh, I've never.
But
Oh, Martin, thank you for that observation. I would never have seen
Right,
that.
I
and would-
apologise. I'm sorry.
No, I think it's hilarious. You made me laugh out loud like that. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's really funny. So, in the future now, it is just a flying knob going up into space, and that is the rocket, not William Shatner. I'm not talking about William Shatner.
No, but good on him. Honestly, good on him. I think it's amazing. 90-year-old today.
90-year-old, yeah, and it's he's
Good
still
on
going
him.
strong. I mean, the next one that they should ask now is Patrick Stewart, but of course he's filming Enterprise season 3, not Enterprise, Picard season 3.
Picard, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if he'd got there, but there we go. Now, shall we go in after that revelation about the rocket?
Blue knob.
BlueKnob.com. Let's go. People are going to be typing that and they'll be finding some porn site or something. Let's go into our focus of the week. Let him have a sip of coffee first. Have a sip. That's it. There we go. Get ready. Right. Here's the jingle.
It's the
Solar Sci-Fi.
focus of the week.
Right, this week. I'm going to get rid of this hat in a minute, it's annoying. We are going into a show which was created by oh god, what's the guy that did Starship
J.J.
2009?
Abrams.
J.J. Abrams. And it was a show which I really did like it actually. It's a very strange show. It's very unique, but it's got a lot of elements for me at least which pulled me in. It's not. I didn't quite enjoy it so much on the second time round. It's still very
Can I-
good. Go on.
Can I just say this? And
What's that?
and I want what I'm going to say in a second is I want to, you know. Well, we're going to get lost in it, aren't we? I had to
Is
say-
that a pun? Is that a pun? We're gonna
Yeah,
get lost in
all
it.
right. You spoiled the bloody moment.
Are you lost for words?
Yeah, I am. You've destroyed the moment.
I'm sorry, but you opened yourself up to that one to be fired
I
down.
did.
So, you said to me that you have seen it. When did you last see it? It was quite a long time ago, wasn't it?
Oh God, years ago. When were it on? What? It must have been.
That's about.
It was on when Battlestar were on, wasn't it?
I think
So,
it was about 10, 15 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, God, is it that long?
I think so.
Bloody hell, it doesn't feel. It's 15 years ago. Yeah,
I think so.
It must
Would
have
have
been
been
because BSG were out about 2005. It
I
was
was
on
going to
at
say
the
about
same time.
2005. Yeah, I think it's about 2005. And it's so obviously it was about Lost. So, how did you hear about it? What made you want to check it out?
I saw I saw the pilot episode. I think it was on Channel 4.
Yeah, I think it was.
And it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. I watched it. I was quite interested, and then I think Channel 4 did a lot of messing. It suddenly got moved off Channel 4, didn't it? They stopped showing it after the first season.
Didn't it end up on Sky or something?
Yeah, I think they want to stay. I remember because you know it's like with mainstream TV. Sometimes you get stuff, and then they don't continue showing it. I
Yeah.
know it went after one season. They released it on DVD, and I bought it from HMV. I thought I'll give it a go, and I watched it. It took a couple of episodes to fully
To really get
start
into it.
grasping it, but I'd say
Yeah.
by episode 6 or 7 I was hooked.
Yeah.
And it was the pointlessness. There was an episode with the guy from the Oceanic Flight. He pops up somewhere in one of the later episodes, for about 4 episodes, and he picks up a dynamite stick and just got vaporized.
Oh, that's right. I remember that one.
It was like
Yeah.
you got these characters to invest in, and
And then they just
it
wipe
was-
them out. They just
wipe them
literally
out,
like, that's
and you were
gone.
invested in these characters, and that's what got me up. Because every time I got invested in a character, they got wiped out, and they were wiping them out quite a lot of these people, you know. So I was hooked, and I've got to admit, I think it had the best cliffhangers going. End
Oh
of the
yeah,
season.
absolutely. I mean, it was amazing. Just some of the mysteries that they. I mean, I remember at the end of, I think it was the end of season 2, when you had this thing ticking down where you have to press this button every 90 minutes or whatever it was, and it go
Yeah.
beep, beep, and then of course, was it Locke? It was Locke, wasn't it? The guy
Oh,
that was.
I mean, I felt so sorry for him.
He was such a good character, though, wasn't he?
Well,
He was,
it was like when it first started.
oh, the
you
dad!
thought
What
he-
about the dad when he gave a kidney to his dad, and then the dad like basically said, "I'll piss off," and he was gone.
Yeah, what about when he threw him through a window?
Yeah, I know. I mean, the dad was a complete
That's his
psycho.
own dad.
Yeah, and
know,
he was just
because-
such a broken man. I mean, that's what he
Well,
he
I
was
think
the
I
main.
would be, yeah.
Well, yeah, it wasn't
Him-
exactly.
He met that lovely woman, didn't he? And she
Yeah.
said you don't have to validate yourself in front of him, but
And in the end,
he
he sort of like she was in the middle, and in the end, he sort of sided against the dad. And I
Yeah,
think in the end, he lost her. She thought.
But the
she had
thing
no-
is, when it first started, I thought he was like a CIA agent,
yeah.
you know.
Oh, you
and-
had no idea, did you? I
No,
mean,
and then you found out he just worked in a box factory.
it was he was doing so, and then of course
Yeah.
he couldn't walk. And
No, then he were
um,
walking around on the island, and it was him in the wheelchair, because we didn't know that for a couple of episodes. That was him.
That's right, and it was. And I mean, there's some the characters themselves. There were some really interesting characters.
Yeah.
I mean, who else was there? There was obviously Jack
Charlie,
Shepherd.
the Charlie. the
Charlie
band
was a
member.
Brit, and he
Yeah,
was the one
he's
that
quite a
taken
famous actor, him as well now.
He appeared in the last Star Wars film briefly.
Yeah.
He was the one that said that Palpatine was probably cloned, because everyone was saying,
Yeah.
how come Palpatine? And he actually was obviously making it simplified, so the audience who wouldn't know how he's back was trying to explain it. So basically, oh, Palpatine's back because he's probably cloned. And they're like, yeah, well, we must have
Yeah.
guessed that. He's not come back from the dead. Who else was there? There was the Sawyer. James Sawyer
Yeah.
thought was quite good.
Yeah,
liked
I
his
like
character.
Sawyer.
Sawyer was good. Hugo Hurley, I think his name was. I'm trying to see what else there was. Jack Shepherd. Eventually,
Yeah,
he played-
what did you think of Jack? He was always like,
well, he
even
was
though
I
the
mean, he
hero,
was-
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. But then, of course,
But he was
also
getting
had his
people
issues.
killed, wasn't he?
Yeah, and of course, in the I mean, when we go on a bit further, we'll talk about the resolution of the series, which in many ways
Oh,
I thought
God,
was
yeah.
a really. To me, it kind of threw the whole series in a not such a good way of finishing off. Very nice, by the way. You've got a plant coming out your forehead. You look like a
I
triffid.
think-
Are you really going to go along with a show like that? Oh, that's it. I've taken it off now. I'm getting bored of it. I can't do it. I think
Oh.
I just look too cool as it is. I've got my Mandalorian t-shirts. But there were so many. Then you had, who else did you have? You had the girl. There was a blonde girl who died quite early on. I can't remember her name. I'm trying to see what other characters there are. On the Wikipedia, let's just quickly give some information from it, so at least it confirms what it was. So it says that it's, and we were right. It says Lost was an American drama TV series, originally aired for ABC from 22nd of September 2004 till 23rd of May 2010. So 2004, which is roughly about what we said 2005. Over 6 seasons, comprising of 121 episodes. So it was
That's
long
a lot.
show. Show contains elements of supernatural and science fiction and follows the survivors of a commercial jet airliner flying between Sydney and Los Angeles after the plane crashes on a mysterious island somewhere in the South Pacific. The story is told in a heavy, serialized manner. Episodes typically feature a primary storyline, set on the island, augmented by flashback or flash-forward sequences, which provide additional insight into the involved characters. And as we've already said, co-created by J.J. Abrams and some others. What else is it? Due to its large ensemble cast, the cost of filming probably was in Oahu, Hawaii, so it was one of the most expensive on TV, with the pilot costing over $14 million for the pilot by itself. The fictional universe of mythology of Lost was expanded upon in a number of later media, importantly a series of short mini episodes, I don't remember those, called Missing Pieces. I never saw those.
They were on the internet.
Oh,
you can watch them on YouTube.
They're on YouTube.
They only released 4 or 5. They're only like 3 or 4 minutes long. It's like.
So is it a bit like the short treks that we've had in recent Star Trek series?
Like that. It's about one of the characters or something.
Yeah.
Taken from one of the storylines. I saw a few of them.
I never saw it. It says that Lost has regularly been ranked by critics as one of the greatest television series of all time. I like it, but I don't think it's that high personally.
Not The Prisoner.
It's not. It's good, but I wouldn't say it's one of the greatest TV shows of all time. The first season had an estimated average of 60 million viewers per episode on ABC. During its 6th and 7th final season, the show averaged 11 million viewers US per episode. Lost
60 million?
11 million. 11 million by the second. No, the second final season was 11 million, not 60 million.
But when it started, it was 60 million.
16.
Oh, right. 16. God, I thought that one.
No, it's never as big as that.
Right.
Let's see what else it says here. So it's season 1, season 3. That just gives them a synopsis. I mean, obviously, as recurring characters. I'm trying to see some of the characters that are on there. They've got a lot of names. What was the name of the guy? There's a guy on the island. Was the one he had short hair. He was quite a short guy, and he was one of the people.
He was one of the.
I can't remember all the names. Yeah, Ben. He was a great character.
The manipulator.
Yeah, I thought.
But he was being manipulated by Jacob, wasn't he?
Yeah, and we only saw Jacob right near the end of the last couple of seasons, didn't we? And then he had a brother or something. Yeah, then saw
the smoke monster.
Two brothers. Yeah, and he was the smoke monster of all things.
Yeah,
which was quite bizarre. I personally feel that the series, as it went along, it kind of lost it a bit, got a bit too muddled within its own universe. And then one season, then it sort of jumped forward, and then it was kind of like jumping back. And
well, do you remember the season where it were all set in an alternative universe?
Yes, and then didn't they
that was very clever.
And but then the season after, then they had like it kind of like the two tangents together or something, didn't it? If I remember.
There was, from what I figured out, there was the episode where they went in that cave and they turned that wheel and they teleported the island.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And it finished on that score and everybody were mind-blowing. And then, do you remember Uncle Jim from Neighbours?
Yes.
He played that evil corporate guy. He was one of the others but got kicked out of the island. And then there was a big conspiracy covering up the plane crash and the island and his corporation. And when he finally turned up on the island, he just got murdered in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It was like, because you had these long agendas going on with characters. And then when they turned up at this place, it was all a bit pointless, really.
Yeah.
You know, look at him with his son. Do you remember he had the son, Michael? He had the son, and he sold them all out to get off the island.
To get off the island with his son, yeah.
Because his son had like weird. There's that scene where he's at home and all these dead birds fly at window.
That's right.
And they never went anywhere with that. That just got dropped, didn't it? After that
season,
you know?
Yeah. I actually forgot about that until you said. But
because I thought the kid was going to be a big thing in it.
Well, then he sort of dropped. Did you say he sort of
dropped
disappeared,
it?
didn't he?
And then he come back, I think somewhere in season 4, and he sacrificed himself on that boat. That Jacob turns up on the boat and says, "This is how you redeem yourself," and they blow up that boat.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean,
there were so many surprises. There's so many surprises.
Yeah. I mean, like the hatch. Do you remember they're all trying to break into the hatch?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? And then we get the hatch scene, because this is what I saw the other day, the hatch, and then the Scottish fella. You see a record player, so you're thinking you're in somebody's apartment.
And it was actually down the.
It was in the hatch.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the question is, well, why didn't they bump into this guy? Because they're all banging on his bunker.
And, he
And
wasn't
then
aware
every
of it.
10 hours, he's got to press a button
That's
or
right.
the world gets destroyed.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, there's a
very
lot of weird stuff going on. I mean,
that-
only it take 10 episodes of this just to get the basics in.
Yeah. Oh no, this is just a sort of generalisation.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many things. I mean, of course, I think season 2 is when we saw the back half of the plane, which crashed on another part of the island, and then you had some other characters there who kind of went their own way, and eventually they met up, and then some of them got killed off, and then you had there was a couple that were split, and then they met together.
Oh,
at
yeah,
some
the
point.
Korean couple, yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I thought that their story.
Yeah, I
was
like it. He's a
interesting
good
as well.
actor, Daniel Day.
That actor, yeah, he's been a lot. He's been actually in
He's been
Star
loads
Trek.
of stuff. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
been in Star Trek as well. He's been.
Yeah, he's
he was-
done a few Hollywood movies as well. It's,
yeah, I like him. He's actually very good.
And Evangeline Lilly as well. She was.
Yeah,
she
she's been in
was
something
that-
as well. What's she been in?
She
I know-
Wasp in Ant-Man. She's the Wasp in Ant-Man now.
Oh, is
That's
she?
her, yeah. That's her. There are
Oh
quite
yeah,
a
yeah,
few
yeah,
of them
right,
off
yeah, yeah.
that
I remember
and
now. That's right. Yes, I remember she was.
Quite a few of them. The careers really went far after that.
Yeah, I think it was a good sort of like starting point. Although the main star guy, I have not seen him in many other things. The guy, I don't know what happened to him. The one that actually. It was all a
I think
dream, what it was.
he's a big actor. I forgot his name now. Jack.
No, that's right. Yeah, Jack. I can't remember the actual actor's name. But
Sawyer ended up in this dreadful science fiction series called The Colony. Got
All
scrapped
right.
after 3 seasons. I tried getting into it. I just couldn't get into it. You know, weird. Might be worth reviewing and taking a look at, but
yeah,
the
there's
concept were different, but it didn't go anywhere. It was quite, you know. But I thought he would have really like crossed over into a lot more. You know.
It reminds me of that series where basically electricity stops working, and basically it's, And I
that's
tried
J.J.
that.
Abrams, that.
and I couldn't. I honestly
Oh, I
thought it
forgot.
was
Pulse.
right.
Oh, I forgot what that's called now.
But I thought
That only
and there's
lasted
a lot
2
of.
seasons.
They've got a lot of good actors
only
in
caught
that
a couple
series,
of episodes
but
of
I
it.
thought it was. I thought it was shit in the end. I thought it was really crap. It had such a great premise, but it really wasn't really very good at all. And I wasn't aware of that. But you know, like I said, sometimes you get good actors who just
Yeah.
end up in a show which just isn't very good.
I forgot what that's called now. I've only
Wasn't
seen it.
Revolution? Was it Revolution?
Revolution, yeah, it was.
it.
Yeah, with that
Yeah.
microchip or something. That's
Yeah,
all I
and
know,
then-
remember of it. Yeah.
And because that's an idea that that'd be really cool. Suddenly, electricity just doesn't work. You've got the equipment, it
Yeah.
just won't come on. But they really messed it up in that series. I thought. I mean, you might like it. You might get, if you get a chance.
No, I've
check
seen
it
a
out.
couple of episodes. It came out on I think that came out after Lost. It was like his next.
Yeah,
big
I
thing.
think it was about
And it flopped,
2011. Yeah, it wasn't very
Yeah.
good. So, what did you think then? I suppose you better get to the actual ending of how it's sort of the whole point of the thing. I mean,
Well, I
we
mean,
have to ask.
I mean,
We have to go. You know, we have to ask.
yeah, I mean, this is where it gets interesting. The final season, I mean, is it a letdown or not? I mean, I was disappointed that the smoke monster's got to get off the island but he wants to get off the island because it wants its superpowers, so it can go out and destroy the world. That evil
Yeah.
fella.
Yeah.
But then there's a plug that if you turn it one way, you turn him human. He's got no powers anymore.
That's right.
So that were in that cave. So like he inhabits Locke's body, pretends to be Locke. Jack figures it out, and I think it's Sawyer and Early turn that plug off. And as they're getting the plane ready, this plane they find, Jack has a fight with Locke, who's the smoke monster, but he just throws him off the cliff, and he's dead. That's it. I mean, we had 6 years of this.
I know. That's what was so weird about this series.
It's
Yeah, I
trapped
know.
in this force field. It wants to
Yeah.
get out, but it
Yeah.
won't leave the island without its powers. Because Sawyer said to it, he said, "Well, why didn't you go smoke your ass over to other island?" And he said, "It don't work like that, you know." and there were all this like thing with the smoky thing, and it just threw him off a cliff. I mean, there were no big like fanfare. It was quite.
No, it was a bit of a dull kind of whimper, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Kind of like,
well,
okay,
6
that's it.
years of that.
Yeah.
And then the plane escapes. Jack's looking up at the plane and he dies because he's finally done the right thing. Because that's his whole existence. And then next minute we're all in the bloody church and they've got kids and they're all like turning up, and except early in that bend they're going back to Ireland because they're going to become the new
sort of entities
and,
that are
and Jacob says, so I mean, the question is, I mean, I watched some a 10-minute thing saying that it was the afterlife or something, where they're all there.
Well, that's what
together.
I thought. I thought
know.
it was I thought it was the afterlife.
That's
I
what
personally think
that's
it was
what I
death.
assumed.
But it's one of those things where people are saying some things it wasn't like that. It was like an alternate reality. It
Well,
was,
then what? It was just that after 5 seasons, which were, I have to say, were exemplary.
yeah, oh, absolutely.
The final, because it were only, I think it wasn't 22 episodes. It were about 15 episodes final season.
I might be able to tell you how many.
I think it was 60. They cut it down, and it was crap. And I sat there watching it. I think it was an hour and a half special as well. And I thought, what the bloody is this it? After all these like amazing cliffhangers, you got to the next series, you know. And
Actually,
got
I've got the Rotten Tomatoes ratings per season if you're interested. Season one was 94%.
right.
Season 2 was 100%, which is amazing.
Oh,
Season 3 was 71%.
oh,
Season 4 was 88%.
yep.
Season 5 was 90%, so it went back up, and then season 6 dropped down to 68%.
That's bad.
So yeah,
It's
but
right in the middle, isn't it? It were like peaking and not peaking.
it dipped in season 3, but it went back up again by season 5, and then it dipped down
Yeah.
to its lowest point in season 6. Although not that much lower than season 3, 68 and 71%
No.
respectively. But yeah, it certainly is a series I wanted to run by you, and it's good that you've obviously got your opinions. And like I said, it's one of those things that you do need to watch again. And every time you watch it, you kind of, again, you look at it and think, well, maybe it's because of that. In some ways, I like that. I like the fact that not all the answers are given, and it's up to individual interpretation about as to what the whole thing was. And I find that a very compelling thing for repeated viewings. And there's so much to go into.
I have to say, it keeps the debate alive, doesn't it?
Well, that's what I'm saying, and that in many ways keeps it's a bit like The Prisoner, whereas it's another one of those series where you never quite knew exactly what it was all about, and
Yeah, like Twin Peaks.
that keeps that kind of spark about
Yeah.
it. Whereas a lot of series they
And,
just have a proper ending. This one.
I mean, there were rumours, weren't there, about a year or so ago, about they were going to bring it back, weren't there? That
Oh, I hope
J.J.
they
Abrams.
don't. No, don't.
But it said it would be set 20 to 15 years later or whatever. But I don't know, well, it never happened. I don't think it should be brought back.
No,
in
I
any
don't
form.
think so. I mean, I'm getting fed up with all these shows coming back, and then it ruins the legacy
Yeah.
of what's been made before.
Just
You know,
leave it
just
for what
leave
it is.
as it is. And I mean, I could say about Picard and stuff like that. I just think in some ways it's slurring what's his character was in 7 and 9. I like when we had Stuart Foley on from Trek Yards the other week, and he said about the golden age of Star Trek. And at the moment this is like potentially for like a new silver age. But the whole point is that these old shows, they were special when they were made. Don't keep trying to reimagine it or take it in a different direction from what. Don't mess up what's been done. Do something
Well,
new.
that's what we said the other week about something about, like with characters and that. If you've got an established history of 50 years of a character, don't go suddenly putting in this happened in the past, and we're all just finding out about it now. Just don't do that.
No, and don't
if
do that with
something's
Lost.
Very solid and very. It's built nicely. Just don't leave it.
Yeah, I agree, and that's what I'm saying with Lost. I don't want somebody come along and say, well, actually in Lost this is because of this, because of that, and then you're going to start to tarnish the old show. and I'm fed up with it. If you make something new, take a risk. Yes, you've got more chance of making money with a familiar character or a familiar name. I know that. I understand it's all about money, but don't f up what you made before because of making money. And that's what I'm getting.
Could you, as a question, could you sit through all that again? Do you think you could watch it all again?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I've watched it.
You really? I don't think I could.
No, there's a lot there, and it's good drama. It's good. It was well acted. It's very compelling. I could watch it.
Yeah,
again,
definitely.
it
is.
I could. I mean, I haven't got the time to do it at the moment, but what me watching Squid Game, which I really like. I want to talk about that when I finish that as well. But I could watch it again. Maybe one episode of a couple of days or something like that. I can't. You know what I mean? It depends on how you feel. Sometimes I feel like really kind of binging into something, and other times I like it a bit more spaced out. But and I will give it another rewatch sooner or later. So so thank you, Mark. Any last words about this show?
No, I think we've covered it satisfactorily, to be honest. I think you've got the same basically same opinion as me.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty on a similar sort of.
I think it should be left alone, definitely.
Yeah, I hope so. But it was a great show. Maybe it was one season too many. I don't know. But for what it's there. It's another good show to go into, and I'm really glad it was made. So there we go. Right. A few news stories. Let's go into our news of the week.
Working.
Solar Sci-Fi
News.
All right, so this week, a few things which are coming along. There was a new, I think it was a Saturday, we got the Star Trek Discovery Season 4 trailer with Ferengi. The Ferengi, which have been redesigned, and I did a Photoshop.
Yes, I saw that.
There's a picture on the left here of the one that they've done, and my Photoshopped Ferengi, which I just did a little touch up on, which took me 78 seconds on paint and 1 minute on Photoshop to smooth out the lobes. And if people are watching this, they'll see that, in my opinion, it looks a lot better. Why have they messed up the Ferengi, Martin? I even tweeted Stuart Foley, and he said that it might be because it's 900 years of just literally aliens intermixing with other aliens. It might not be a pure Ferengi. I don't think that at all. I think they're just messing it up just to mess it up. What do you think?
I just can't be bothered, mate. Honestly, I mean, I saw.
Very wise.
I was on browsing Facebook and I saw your picture and I stopped in shock. Spat my tea out all over my computer monitor. And I thought,
and then went out for a walk.
I don't want to swear, but I'm just gonna have.
Go on, you
fucking hell! What have they done now?
I know.
They just don't.
They just don't. They can't leave things alone. And this is why.
I sat on your phone. Is that a Ferengi? And then I saw what you did to it.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm not gonna swear. I'm just. Why can't they stop?
Just make a Ferengi. And I thought they were getting better.
Why can't we just have the Ferengis we had in DS9?
I don't know. The Ferengi have appeared in 4 separate Star Trek series. That's what they look like, right? And the people are saying it's not. These people, they've redesigned all the races. Like the Andorians have been redesigned again. And it's not about evolution because they're Andorians we saw in season 1 and 2. And now they've got 900 years in the future.
It's only been about.
They keep redesigning.
700 years.
What if Star Wars with all the new Mandalorian stuff? No, but
evolution takes millions of years.
The problem is with the Star Wars franchise, when you get the Mandalorian, you see it on the races. They are exactly how they've always looked. They have not been redesigned. That's how they were 40 years ago. Why do they keep changing all the races for no reason? I know it doesn't matter to.
I bet they're not. I bet they're not greedy anymore as well. I bet they've gone through some spiritual change. I bet they have. They're not the greedy capitalists.
What, the Ferengi aren't after money? They're after Latinum anymore? What are they after?
They're all benevolent now.
I don't know. I mean, I just. This is why I'm not. I don't get too excited. I mean, okay. So what about the trailer anyway? Obviously, there's another space anomaly of some sort, which is going to wipe out all of humanity and all of the Alpha Quadrant or whatever. A bit like last season.
I fucking wish it'd wipe out season 3 and 4 where things are going.
I don't know. I'm sick.
You know,
of it.
I watched some clips of DS9. I always watch clips of DS9 on YouTube. And the
Right.
scenes with Wayoon and Gul Dukat
Oh.
and Damar. It's this great scene where, like, Damar's edit Cardassian people and they're treating him like nothing. And there's a scene where where Wayoon wakes him up and he looks at himself in the mirror.
And
the
he's
music
because he's
kicks
got
in.
like he's got like
This is
Kanar.
who I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, why? You know, this is what you want, and then we're getting this now. The new Ferengis. They've done something to them. They are not greedy capitalists anymore. I'm telling you.
That's going to. Well, I mean, this Ferengi is a Starfleet officer, so maybe.
No,
I mean, it might be that it's just.
well,
literally
Nob
a
was a
visual tie-in.
Starfleet officer, wasn't he? Nob
Yeah, that's
probably.
true.
He probably inspired the entire fucking planet of them, you know.
Well, I've got my. Like I said, after seeing this trailer, I was a bit underwhelmed, quite frankly. So I'm not going to be very excited.
Have you seen the other trailer?
What for Prodigy?
Yeah.
I saw bits of it. I'm not watching it. I'm not going to check it out.
Captain Janeway's a hologram.
Yeah, I heard about that, and
I saw it and
apparently
I
it's
just switched it off. I couldn't be bothered.
no, I'm not going to watch that.
And
But
apparently,
it is Ava Gillies.
Chakotay, he's Captain Chakotay. He's going to be in it as well because the actors come back to voice.
Yeah, Robert Beltran's involved.
Yeah.
I think it's great that they're back, but again, first of all, it's a cartoon. Secondly, it's aimed at kids, and thirdly, it's not my demographic.
I won't be
Sorry.
watching it.
No, I'm not going to
I've-
watch that. I mean, I'm still an R.E. Lower Decks. I mean, I've seen one episode of season 2. I am going to watch it.
I'm up to episode 6. It's one of them things. If I'm bored, I'll put Amazon on.
It's a parody. It's not.
Yeah.
It can be. It's a parody of Star Trek in new ways. It's just
Yeah.
The Simpsons with its Starfleet officers.
Now,
It's not-
I had a very interesting conversation with a friend of mine
All right.
the other day. Now, this is all connected. It's, you know, have you heard the Superman news?
Oh God, I thought of you. I almost sent you a picture of the infamous picture, which I saw the BBC. I thought,
Yeah,
oh,
it's, the son of Superman.
Oh.
You know what I'm on about, don't you? Right,
The
well,
kissing
right. I came up with maybe, you know, like with James.
Now, you be
Bond.
careful what you say. You be careful what you
I
say.
am
yeah.
not. I am. I'm
Okay.
going to be very careful what I'm going
Right.
to say.
Okay. Right.
I don't know if you might agree with this, right? Because you've got teenage kids and that, so they're a different generation to what
Sure.
we are. Now, what I'm saying is that generation upwards, going up into the late 20s, from
Yeah.
say from now. I'm not knocking them or out like that. What it is maybe what we were brought up with. We were brought up with Roger Moore and Pierce Brosnan, the original Star Trek. And things were being covered, and they like to say, like Bond's, you know, his attitude and all
Yeah.
that.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe what it is because we're so used to what we were brought up with that there's a whole generation out there now that's very progressive, and all this stuff that everybody's complaining about. Maybe, just maybe. I'm choosing my words very carefully.
Okay.
I
Go
am,
for it.
right?
Go for it. Yeah.
that the generations behind me and you, like the teenagers and the older ones, maybe they're very progressive, and this is the world they're going to live in. Because somebody put this meme up on Facebook the other day. It said, "How our parents brought us up is not the world we live in now." And I think there's a lot in that. Maybe I'm wrong. That's just me.
Let me say, I personally, I think that you've actually hit the nail on the head. I think there is an interim or transitional period from our world to the next generation's world.
Yeah, I
And
think
what
that's
we're
what
having
we're
is,
saying.
at the moment, there's overlap. So there's discontinuity
Yes.
between our generation and the next generation. And
yeah.
their generation is going to be all Superman's going to be bisexual, and
Yep,
James
I
Bond
know
is
that,
going to be
yeah.
a black woman. And that's fine. And do you remember
Yeah.
the older people when they used to have like a white doctor or something? It's the way that the world is changing, and unfortunately,
Yeah, I mean, it's like in '90s. Do you remember when Next Gen come out? Loads of them. Do you remember all the backlash
the
it
hate
got?
of
Do you remember it?
of
We're in
course I
pay,
did.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not watching that, and it's not Star Trek. 75 years into it, everybody was screaming and loving it, and they wanted more.
Yeah, it suddenly
But
changed
maybe
everything
I
around.
think you just hit it right on the head.
There's a transitional
that-
period going on.
I watch
Definitely.
people like Nerdrotic, and I'm not going to knock them and all that. And some of them, they rant and rave about stuff, and
Sure.
but they're older generation. Maybe there is an overlap now
I think there
of
is. I think
something.
there is.
The world is changing, and you know they're going to their next. Like maybe in something it's a good thing, but like you said, there's an overlap at the moment. But eventually, it's going to level out, isn't it? It's going to level
Yeah.
out.
But well, yeah. But do you think it will level out, or do you think that we are literally going to become bygones of the past with a whole new world? A bit like we're always like sliders.
So yeah,
I think
so. Yeah.
I actually thinking more and more of sliders, and basically we're almost slid into a world when we were asleep, and suddenly the world's attitudes are. No, seriously. There is. It's like we've slid into a different world where something like Clark Kent is kissing a boy or something, or it is very much like we're almost in a parallel universe. Obviously, it's not, but it's the way that things which were the norm for us 20 years ago are just not the acceptable, standardized.
Well, that's
practice
what
these days.
I think. I mean, it's like
Very amazing. It's very interesting.
It's like our parents. They probably like couldn't get their head round half of this today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's like
not their fault, but we were brought in like I don't know. I suppose the generation we were into, we were the start of that transition of crossing over, and maybe there is an overlap because people are holding on to things, which there's nothing wrong, but you know, like start Discovery season 3. I mean, people can knock it and say whatever. I'm no fan of it. I admit it. Season 3, I just put down the toilet. But the thing is, people are paying for it. People are watching it.
Yeah,
and this whole generation, as you said, we had that last week, that this is going to be their Star Trek. You know, we've got. The 90s were our golden years.
It's like
Stewart. It's
a good example.
But now there's all new lot coming in.
A good example is Doctor Who. My two won't watch classic Doctor Who, and I said, well, look, there's such great stories in that point. I know partly it's the effects and stuff, but it's not just that. It's partly the pacing, and let's say it's too talky, it's too slow, and but it's not. I mean, a lot of these old shows they had more. You know, a good example is
more depth.
The Star Trek thing. Star Trek had characters with flaws, but no, there are flaws in the newer characters, but there was more. The stories had, to me, better writing, more depth, more of a psychological issue or factors which would really make you think. It's not just a big space anomaly. Oh, I don't know. It's just something. I don't know. It might be that we are seeing things from older versions.
And look at the science now. I mean, look at the science now. I mean, 20 years ago, nobody said, "Oh, there's such things as parallel universes." And you know, 20 years ago, if you would have brought up, I'd seen a UFO, people would laugh at you. Now it's a big thing. People, I believe you now. And we're getting scientists on the TV. Saying, well, if we exist, then there's parallel universes. Might be different.
Yeah. I mean, that's
so
more acceptable in science. It's more.
Don't forget, for an advanced society, it progresses, attitudes change, and maybe that's what we're living in. Because like there were minorities 20 years ago, didn't have much of a voice, but minorities grow eventually, and then they say, look, you've got to recognise us. You know, we're part of society, which is right. I'm not saying you've got to. I agree with that, but that's the way it's going now. People are saying, look, you know, we demand this and we demand that, and they're like progressive,
absolutely.
programs. I mean, Discovery's audience is probably a very progressive audience, but some people are going to shoot me down for saying this. But I'm just looking at the bigger picture. You know, I just think I agree. There's an overlap going on.
Yeah,
you know.
I think so, and it's only in probably the last several years that I've started to notice it more and more. More of a discontinuity from the world that I'm familiar with to what the world is turning into. And it's interesting that you brought this up. So we obviously both noticing it independently. So it's not just me and my imagination. You've separately also perceived the same thing, and I'm sure.
Well, I've had friends of mine. I had a discussion with a friend of mine last week, and we went into this.
Right.
and we came to that maybe this is the way it is.
I
So
think
I've got
it
some
is.
friends, and I'm not knocking, and they don't like what's going on. They don't like
Right.
Discovery,
Sure.
which I respect that.
Yeah. No
It's
problem
not
at all.
their Star Trek. But then the other counterpoint to that argument is, which I do respect their views and I do listen, because I think on some things they are right. But look at Picard. It's funny, you can't bring back Captain Picard as it was Next Generation. All they've done is evolve his character. Maybe not in the way we wanted for him to be evolved.
But
But
they,
you know,
but for instance,
I'm not
the
saying it's right.
No. I mean, but look at the Orville, which in many ways is, although it's a different series, it is done in the classic TNG 90s, late 80s
Yeah.
era of Star Trek, and it's contemporary, but it's done really well.
And it's
Can't they
progressive.
do
Look-
that? Can't they not do that with Picard? and
Well,
some
I
of the
don't
other
know.
things?
You see that? You see, the other problem is I find some of this stuff is quite patronising.
Okay.
You know, I get in like Doctor Who, I find extremely patronising.
Yeah, but maybe that's because you're looking from an older perspective. Because you're
Maybe
not-
I am, and
Maybe
that's
I'm
not
as
my
well.
fault. That's who
No,
I
exactly.
am.
That's how.
But I try to be progressive. I try to be open-minded.
Sure.
But it's like the Orville. Do you remember that episode? I mean, the one that had one of. Do you remember the blue guy who were at it
The
with
one
his
that had
wife?
the affair, yeah.
And then when the blue guy turned up, suddenly he's having an affair with Captain Mercer. And there's a scene where they're in his cabin and he's got a bathrobe on. He's putting a towel on, after the. And you don't question it. You just accepted it. Because
Yeah.
that's the world they live in. They live
Yeah.
in a very progressive
Different progressive world.
world, which they
Yeah.
do.
That's
You know,
right.
there's no stereotypes and there's no, oh, you're this and you're that. People do what people do and it's accepted. So maybe this is where, to get to that type of society, this is where it all, I think, might start.
Yeah, I think you could be right.
I could, look, people might shoot me down. I'm trying to be open-minded. But if you want to live in a world like the Orville, and like him, he was married to her, but then suddenly he's at it with a blue alien, and he's a man,
As you do.
right?
Yeah.
And people just watched it and accepted it. Look at Bortus, planet full of geezers. You
Yeah.
know, and there was that thing round the spring of whatever you remember, the spring of
Yeah.
life. You know, but we all thought it was funny and we all accepted it. But they live in a progressive society where there's no stereotype. They're beyond that. So maybe this is it could be the start of people starting to accept certain behaviours of people how they are. That's how I see it.
So I was going to say, so do you think this really, for us, even as two individuals, is that we in some ways have got to adjust to the new world?
I don't know. I mean,
think-
I mean, like you said, you're 50 next year. I'm 55 next year. I mean, we've had our time shooting around nightclubs and doing
in the world that it was.
in the world we lived in, the rave culture, but
Sure.
yet again, all that rave culture. Look how accepting all that was back then. You know,
Yeah.
the 90s to us were like probably our 60s. Yeah,
I mean,
it was a very progressive time with the 90s.
I keep walking around and seeing people looking at their phones, not even looking where they're going, crossing the roads. And
Well,
looking
yeah.
It's just something out of a parallel universe.
The internet,
And it's
the
just
source of
ridiculous.
all this.
I know,
the
and what we
internet's
do,
the
and we
source
are
of
doing
all.
exactly, we're exactly on the actual format.
Because
Or
you can go on Facebook and see all types of different people. You know, and go on the internet and YouTube and watch videos and of different types of people and different cultures. Everything's there. I mean, I've got friends all over the world on Facebook. I admire them all.
Yeah, I've got friends as well. Yeah, absolutely.
But they all live in different societies, and some are progressive, some are, but there's a thing coming. It's happening right across the world now. You know.
So
there's-
what do
the
you
world's
think?
changing.
What do you think is going? Do you think this is kind of like the level it's going to be? That it's more kind of this is going to be the norm, or do you think this is transitional to even more of
I
a
agree with
changed
you.
world?
I think what you said, we're in the middle of a transition. I think there's a lot of people.
But what are we transitioning to? What
I don't know.
End?
I
mean,
don't have
the thing
that
is,
answer.
it would never end though, because you can't say that, because of course.
No, because
although
it's about evolving, isn't
It's
it?
continuously evolving, so it will always
You
be.
can't go back. You can't
No.
go back. You've got
No.
to go forward. Some people don't want to go forward. But I mean, look, there's a lot of things in science fiction I'm not happy with. I'm not happy with Doctor Who. I didn't like Discovery season 3. I will watch season 4. You know, but there's like with the Ferengi or some of the episodes, they're going to be dealing with what's going on in the society. But I think there's a massive progressive thing going on right now.
I agree. I do agree.
And I think some people don't like it. You know, and that's why you get these other YouTube commentators that don't like the woke agenda, the culture war, all this. But maybe that's just all being used as like the thing against it. I'm not saying I'm right. Some people are not happy with this. I'm not happy with what they've done with James Bond. But if you look at Bond's character, that we have moved on from where he was. We live in a modern society, you know. It's
like
you
when
know,
you watch I was going to say, when you watch the original Star Trek, every episode you get the do 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 do, where the beautiful blonde comes along and Captain Kurtz all goes, ah. And it's like, I mean, my God, I mean, you know, my daughter's, she's watched all the classic original Star Trek recently, and she says, why is it every episode you get the blonde woman or the brunette, and then you get the do 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 do,
yeah,
and that's it. It's and
well,
the
it's
soft
like
colour, you know.
Well, it's like the 1950s B movies, isn't it? You know, the woman
Yeah, I
screams
know.
all the time,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the hunky guy with the brill cream haircut comes in, and
Yeah.
we don't live in a world like that. You know, it's reversed now. That you get the man screaming and the woman.
But that's
comes in
too
and
far.
kicks
See
ass,
that again. You think about
which
say,
is a
like-
good thing. It's a good thing.
But
you
in
know.
some ways, like I mean, like if you look at the 1953 War of the Worlds with the woman screaming, but then you think of 1988 with Bonnie Langford screaming in Doctor Who, exactly the same, even though it's 30 years apart.
Yeah.
So some things, you know what I mean. But
The 90s, all this started in the 90s, the mid 90s. This is when all
I
this
don't know when it started.
thing. I
actually,
think
yeah.
it was the mid. For me, I think it started.
Well, I've only
with the
perceived it
mid-90s.
in the last 10 years, probably. I'd say.
I think you were in it. You won't know because that was our generation.
Maybe because you're
That
5
was
years
our
older
thing.
than me. Maybe you're slightly older than me. You might see it.
I don't know, but we are more or less been through the same thing,
Yeah, I know. It's
you know.
interesting.
And
you know.
and I just think like you've got teenagers, and I've got relatives with teenage children, and that they're going to be they're all quite open-minded. They accept. They're a lot more accepting than what we are. I mean, I accept the most things. I just don't like being patronised, you know. And I think that's some people have got this wrong.
I think that what
You know.
you've hit the nail on the head. The fact is that it's the acceptance of the change is fine and being aware of it, but not patronising and forcing it in a way which is kind of so shoehorned into your way of living. That's the issue. I'm all for change
I think
and for
that's
all,
why
and
people.
that
have
is the
issues
problem.
with it.
That's why when you get these shows like Star Trek and Doctor Who, where they put these things on, and it's literally, I just see it as someone in an executive's office ticking off a box. Right,
Yeah,
that's it, we've done it.
Instead
That's
of
the
writing
box
quality
ticked.
stories.
Not the story, just for the sake of ticking off that box.
Yeah.
That is my
I
issue.
agree. I think
That is the
definitely.
main problem I have. If you just had it in a natural way, fine.
I mean,
do it.
it said they brought out a new Star Trek series. Say like they bring out Star Trek Avenger and the captain's gay and he's married. You're not bothered. I'm not bothered. As long as the guy's a good actor and he's got a great character. You know,
Yeah,
the
but
great crew.
but
and the great
I would probably.
thing. We're all
but-
going to be into it.
But
It
what?
don't bother me.
The problem is because there's already been so much of this thrown at you. I would probably perceive it as a woke thing just to tick off the box,
I can't
even though I
totally
might be
understand.
wrong. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm fearful that I'm now going to be interpreting anything which is just done for the sake of a good
Yeah.
storyline as ticking off that box.
Because it's funny. It's funny how the Orville gets it right, isn't it? You know,
No
without
problem at all.
patronising you. No
Bortus
problem.
is from a
Yeah.
race, a single-sex race, but
Yeah.
done in so, and it's
That's
obviously
what I mean.
they're all male, but they're not. 'Cause obviously, but look at that. Then you had the deviant female of this race. Of course, they were like hidden
Yeah.
and they were done so well written, and
Yeah,
also,
well, it's like
but
the
it still
Expanse.
ticks the box. Still
It's
ticks the
like
box.
I'm saying human nature will be human nature, whoever you are. But it's you know, it's like the Expanse. I mean, they live in a progressive society. There's no stereotype. It's all about power and politics and surviving. But you know, if people are having multiple affairs with other members of the crew, people just Yeah, all
just,
right, not
just
a
it,
problem.
whatever. Yeah, this is what
But
it is.
obviously, human politics and human nature's still in this progressive change. Of course, it is.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's we do live in interesting times, you know.
Absolutely.
But I
Absolutely.
totally 100% agree with what you said.
You know
The
what? This
overlap.
has been one of the best news ones we've ever done. I mean, I don't care that we've not gone on about lots of news. There's not a lot of news anyway. But just having this has been. I'm going to add this in the description about this. Is talking about the state of the way that the world is changing and whether people are getting lost. So yeah, I really do think that's something I'm going to keep in mind. And thank you very much for bringing that up, because that's something really to keep in mind. And to be aware of in the future shows. And like I said, you can still have diversity, you can still have things, but do it in a way which is integral to the story and not ticking off that box in the executive's office.
Yeah,
that's what I'm asking for.
That's it. Yeah, that's all
That's
I
what I'm
asked
asking
for.
for. Yeah, and hopefully that they will. I think personally that they will do that more. They will actually realise that. Oh no, okay, we've got a gay guy. Brilliant. They're not going to do it in the future. It will be a natural relationship between two gay people in a way which is natural. That's what we're asking for, a natural thing, not just ticking off that box just to keep somebody in some office happy. Anything else in news?
No, I think we've covered it all.
Yeah, not a lot of news, but we've certainly had a great.
Oh, there was an
discussion today.
Obi-Wan Kenobi poster with Vader's face.
Oh, I've not seen that. Okay, did it look?
Have you not seen? I can send you the picture. I don't know if it was fan made though. I thought.
I've seen that. Okay.
You know,
I mean,
it's Vader's face and Kenobi stood in the desert.
Okay, that sounds. It's still early days though, isn't it? I mean, they're apparently. Oh, and I did hear that Strange New Worlds has now finished post-production. Not post-production, the filming. You know, there's sometimes they have to go back for reshoots. But the reshoots, all the pickups is the term. The pickups are now done. It's in the can. They're just doing the special effects and the sound mixing and all the other stuff.
Yeah, it's March. That's out. We got dates for The Expanse is the 10th.
December.
10th of December, yeah.
Yeah, December, and it's only 6 episodes, but the last one's feature length or something.
Yeah, and oh god, there's something out on 28th of December. I forgot.
Lost in Space.
That's it. Yeah.
Nah, way ahead of you this week. Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Last third season. I'm going to watch that.
On Thursday, there's a new science fiction series. It's season 2. It's the one with Katie Sackhoff. It's on Netflix on Thursday. Yeah, I forgot what it's called. Where she goes into deep space to stop this invasion.
All right. Well, if you check it out, let me know, and
I'll get you the title.
Yeah,
for
give
me 5 minutes, and I'll send it to you.
And if
they're only 10 episodes, so you could watch it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Brilliant. And what's the other thing? I'm sure there's one other thing. No, I mean, Doctor Who's back on Halloween night, 31st of October. Season 12 starts. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah. So it's been the release date is 31st of October. And it's only 6 episodes, so it finishes like the 5th of December, and then we'll get the New Year's Day special.
All right, well, I'll start the live shows up then.
Yeah, maybe if I'm free or you want to do something with me, then...
I'm back on, I should be back the afternoon on 31st, so...
Yeah, it's on a Sunday as well.
So I'll be back in the afternoon. But definitely, yeah. There's a trailer coming on. Is it the 14th of November?
June? June's coming out soon, isn't it?
June's out, I think June's out, I know it's out in other countries. Apparently it's been a smash hit.
Oh, because I'm going to check that out when it comes out. Is it going in cinema or is it going to be on digital?
I don't know. I know that it smashed box office records.
I was very underwhelmed with the original, but I want to try the new one. Apparently, it's one of those things which is really hard to make into a film adaptation from the book. Apparently.
Oh no, it's Boba Fett. It's the Boba Fett trailer.
Oh, Boba Fett. Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, that's on the 28th of December. Boba Fett 28th. Yeah, Boba Fett. That's it. Yeah.
That's the one series. And again, they're not going to redesign all the aliens in Boba Fett. They will
no.
Star
just
Wars.
Get on with
they're
it,
not going to redesign the Ferengi. They're not going to have Klingons who look like orcs. That is my main issue. And some people are saying to me, because I've got a few posts about it, say, you shouldn't care. Well, I know I shouldn't care. I know I should get along. But I've been watching this crap for 50 years. And
well, you build a passion for it, don't you? It means a lot to you. I mean,
it does.
I'm very protective of the 90s Star Trek. I think it's still the best. Especially DS9, you know.
Yeah, DS9, Voyager and Enterprise and all those. I love all those 4 shows. They're my favourite shows in that era. and they just keep messing it up. And
I keep
I'm
going back
still,
watching episodes.
and I'm still trying not to get my hopes up in Star Trek: Strange New Worlds because
I've got a good feeling about that.
I do, but I'm still a bit. after seeing the Ferengi that look like, I don't know what they look like. They look like something like the Last Starfighter or something. They don't look right. That does not look like a Ferengi. It looks like a Ferengi who's got incinerated or something. I don't know. Stop it. The ears go across. The lobes go across.
I know.
I know. Oh, sorry. Get another one. Right. We're going to finish now. We're going to finish off because I've had to come in rushing from getting my son's haircut. We're going to end with, we have played it before, but it's quite good. John Pertwee with his I Am the Doctor song. Next week, I'm going to really try to be focusing on Dark Matter. I'm going to watch the rest of season 2 and season 3. I'd love to talk to you about that.
Yeah, can't wait.
And that's going to be a good one. So, Martin, thank you very much. It's been a really good show tonight. Really had a good chat with you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, very. And next week on Late Night Chapter, we will be talking about the Conservative Party.
You should send this to Nerdrotic and see what he thinks about
And the Labour
discussions as
Party
well.
and the
Oh,
Labour.
don't. I know. We could put it on the government websites or something. Martin, thank you very much. We'll catch you next week on the Solo One Sci-Fi podcast. Live long and
Peace
prosper.
out.
I cross the void beyond the mind, the empty space that circles time. I see where others stumble blind, to see the truth they never find. Eternal wisdom is my guide. I am the Doctor. Through cosmic waste and TARDIS flies, to taste the secret source of life. A present science can't deny exists within, outside, behind the latitude of the human mind. I am the Doctor. My voyage dissects the course of time. Who knows to say, but are you right? Who searches deep to find the light that glows so darkly in the night? For that point, I guide my fleet. As fingers move to end mankind, metallic teeth begin their grind. With sword of truth, I turn to fight the satanic powers of the mind. Is your faith before your mind? No, man, am I.